Is the album as a format dead? I don't believe so, and if it is, I certainly won't admit it, and I definitely won't encourage that idea. Hi, welcome to HoboRec Recording Studios and YouTube channel. I'm Ulf. Today I basically just have a little rant about the today's situation in music business and the way music is or tend to be released, or how people tell you that you should release your music. I have heard from many sources that the album as a format is dead, and the way to release music is to release song by song, just releasing singles like on YouTube, Spotify, streaming services and stuff like that. Out of a marketing standpoint, I'm sure that's all good. I didn't get into music because I love marketing or making money. I mean, of course I want to make a living of what I do here, so it's not like I'm oblivious to economics and stuff like that. It's just that I think that it's important to remember why you got into doing music and what you want to do with it. If your main purpose with making music is making a lot of money, then maybe music isn't the best business to be in the first place. I mean, you could have been a banker or a doctor or anything if you put in so much hours in becoming a great musician or a studio engineer or whatever, and you did that just to make money. I bet you could put that energy into do anything else that would make you more money. So with that said, back to the album discussion. The reason I think the album as a format is really important. An album allows you to have a concept for a collection of songs, to like tell a story that is bigger than just one song. Even if the lyrics don't necessarily have anything to do with each other, the album as a whole can tell like an emotional story, much like a movie. You have the dramaturgical curve in an album, and even if in one song it's really important. I mean, you have different waves of intensity in a song to communicate the song and make it really like speak to a person. And in the same way you can do that with a full album. Usually you put some really great songs in the beginning of an album to gain the interest from the listener, and then you can have like not necessarily a softer song, but turning it down a little bit, and then you go up again, and like you put the songs in like in order to make a nice flow in the music. And what I find, if you only release singles, and then maybe you collect those singles and release them as an album, you just have a massive block of potential hit songs. And to me, that is not a good album. My favorite albums through the years has been albums that has at least a few songs that on its own, it's not good songs, but they help the other songs to stand out. And it could be like just transition songs. I have done it with bands that I'm in. You make just a song that you would never even play it live. You would never think of releasing it as a single. It has its place in an album in the context of the full album. I understand why in history you release singles from an album. It's to wake the interest in your audience and just give them some highlights from the album. Like say, here is some really great songs from this album, so maybe you want to buy the full album, and that's fine with me, and that's great. I mean, that's what everybody's doing, even in alternative music and in commercial music. That's like a trailer. But if you release only singles, like this is a hit song, we release this one, and then we write another hit song and release that. Yeah, if you compare it to a movie, it's like only releasing trailers. Like you condense it down to the most intensive parts of the story and only release that. And that would be a pretty boring life for a movie lover, for example, if all you could watch was movie trailers, right? I can understand the purpose and the thoughts behind this. If you're a new band, if you don't have that much money, then it's better to put your resources into recording one really great song than to just take all the songs you have that might be good, might be bad, and just make an album and try to push that. Working yourself up as an up and comer, that could be pretty hard. But the album as a format has been around for so long that it's like, yeah, I just keep circling back to the same argument here. It's the thing I like with albums is that it can have songs that are not, I don't mean bad songs, it's just songs that are not that strong on its own. It's just strong together with the rest of the songs on the album. And if you only release singles, you can't do that. And that would be really sad, if you ask me, because I'm fortunate enough to work in a genre that releases a lot of music on vinyls. So a big portion of my record collections is albums that I produced and recorded. And it makes me really, really happy to like go through those albums from time to time and put them on my turntable and listen to it. And I can honestly say that if all the bands I recorded only recorded a few songs at a time, only released it on like YouTube and streaming services, I wouldn't be as happy as I am doing what I do for a living. I think the main problem I have also is that I work in a genre that is mostly alternative rock, metal and punk music. I really love working with those bands because they come to the studio and they record the music that I love only because they love it. I mean, they can have ambitions to get out on tour, releasing albums, selling albums and stuff like that, but the money thing isn't priority number one. I don't think that is for at least 98% of all musicians, even in commercial music. I think doing music is why they do it, and that's the number one priority. But the money thing can grow big really fast, it seems. And when talking to people in the music business on forums and listening to podcasts and stuff, it feels like it's more business than art these days. And I feel that that is really sad. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going with this. It's just I want to ventilate my thoughts, and I'm really curious to know what you guys think about this, because for me it's kind of a touchy subject. And as I said before, I understand why people think this is a better idea to release just singles, but it doesn't resonate with why I am in music and like it as an art form. So let me know what you think. I'm sorry for having a lot of videos with me just talking lately. I promise there will be some more technical stuff coming up with recording examples and stuff like that. So bear with me, and I see you next week again. And as usual, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you want to see more, I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. You can find more videos that I released before about DIY stuff, recording, mixing, a lot of stuff. I've doing this for a couple of years now, so you will probably find something that is interesting to you if you check through my old videos. And with that, I'll say cheers and see you again next week. Bye bye.